Future again in three, two, one. Prop side loses because they think that the governments are the most incompetent places in the world that can't do anything because they're trapped in tourist traps. Nor do they think tourists as a stakeholder at all. I mean, it's very clear that Annie and yeah, he dropped it. Bill acts like he doesn't drop it, but like never mentions it either. So let's look at the two clashes. First of all, which is good for the tourist destination. Second of all, which is good for the tourists. Okay, so Prop says regarding tourist destinations that there are too many people, too many pollutions, and we take money from things like education. Talks about economy boost and cultural boost. So why do we win? First on weighing. Which side has a better economy? More tourists do not mean degradation of the place. Even if there are way too many people, the fact that there is the Eiffel Tower or there's a beach is the bigger incentive that people go there to tour. This is not true. It is not true that more tourists mean degradation because having more people is actually a reason why the destination gets hotter. For example, I see people going to New York, therefore I want to go to New York too. And having more people is a proof that it is a fun place. So it does not mean that people will actually degrade that place and spend less money there. And even if the point that degradation happens is true, if you actually want to talk about which side gets more money, leave it up to the market economy because companies calculate the amount of people that they can get and which number of people, which number of tourists gives the biggest money. So you don't actually need the government intervention for that, especially because people will still flow in it as long as there is the Pantheons or the Eiffel Towers because that is the reason why they're going for that. But second of all, it actually gives seed money for you to do other things because you can get the money early
POI.
first things and you can do other businesses with that money. And because I have the seed money, the country can fund the IT companies that they have and therefore expand to other businesses. This is especially true for developing countries, which their only capacity is showing the cultural places to others. Then they do the other businesses for further developments. I get that Bill rebutted three examples, but like I believe it is true for many countries like Turkey or Greece or African countries or like slum tourist countries. And just because you rebutted examples doesn't mean you rebut logic because you didn't. But third of all, they say that but third of all, we believe that they can do many business at once in general because politicians and companies have studied economics and they're not stupid enough to only do tourism. That is not a fair incentive at all. But specifically, why are they not myopic? Well, because many countries are a democracy and people vote, and you realize that they should not rely on one thing. Very simple, because relying on one thing is intuitively a very dumb choice to make, so people will not make that choice. And the also executive body is divided in two sections, and that a certain section will be devoted towards tourism, a certain section will care about education and health and other things. So because the government is not a monolith, it is divided into places that cares about many different things. It will not be myopic enough to only care about one thing. Division of labor is a simple thing that bodies do in general, even if they're not a democracy. And autocracy still want to rule nicely in order to hold power forever and forever. But also, we believe that oftentimes tourism is seasonal. So in the non-tourist season, which the season would be like winter vacation and summer vacation, they can work on other businesses when tourism actually is at a low point and where people don't tour in your place. That is very intuitive and a very true thing that tourist places actually do right now. Next of all, we believe that when there are too many people, you build more hotels and restaurants. If you get too many tourists, you can build more places to accommodate them, build more hotels. You can build more places to accommodate them so that they can eat and build more restaurants. If there's more people, you spend more money on that. That is very intuitive.
POI.
No, just because you get more people doesn't mean that your places explode. But also, we believe that you cannot sell things more expensively because tourist prices are already barely affordable. I mean, if I need to ride a plane, I need to spend $10,000. I mean, I know, like $10,000 for four of my family to go. And if it rises that much, people just cannot tour if the prices go even up. We reject a large number of people is such. Rejecting a large number of people is such a bigger impact because you cannot realistically charge people $600 a night because they won't tour then. But next of all, we believe that tourism is not unstable because tourist places will be forever beautiful because they have a very infinite value inside of them. Because Greece will forever be beautiful, even when preferences and fads and trends change. Greece or any other traditional place like Paris would always be forever beautiful because they have historical and cultural value. If a pandemic
POI.
happens, everything, including the manufacturing or IT, stops. And rather, selling IT, for example, if you lose competition to the US in an IT company, then you cannot sell your internet products or your fourth industrial revolution products. So that is an actual incentive why those types of things are more unsustainable. And also, there's a big net plus when you are doing tourism. You get more money flowing in the hotels and you get more money flowing in your restaurants. And your tourist people spend more money inside of your places in general, therefore boosting your economy, therefore allowing your country to get a lot more money in general. So we believe that we weigh on that and get more money. But second piece of this clash is that which side has a better environment for other benefits in general to the places. Now, the weighing here is that regulations are to be able to be more implemented. And tourism means that you get more international attention and scrutiny. That is more incentive
POI.
to get green technology and make the places cleaner because now everyone sees their places. And because now everyone sees the places, laws are created to stop people from littering or stop people from throwing things in the trash. But how can this be done? Law. There's very coercive power called law, where tourists need to comply to the law, cannot make absolute crimes or making things like environments worse. And the incentives of people polluting is very non-exclusive, because the natives of the country also want to live a life that is convenient and therefore draw the things in the seas. And they might say that the natives love the country more, but natives also have an incentive to respect. Tourists also have an incentive to respect other countries, to follow moral law. And natives and tourists don't want to ruin country image by being a polluter. So weighing with the amount of regulation, we actually have more. But the second clash on which side is good for tourists, or should I say, are tourists important at all? Because they never say tourist is a stakeholder. But why? They are a very important stakeholder, because the government, just because you have a government inside of the place doesn't mean that you absolutely own the place. You just have a government in there. The existence of the government is to take care about the rights of the citizens, not to own the entire place. Now, why do they not own the cultural goods inside of the place? Well, because they themselves are not the stakeholders that have built the pantheons in Greece and the Eiffel Tower. They have inherited from their ancestors, and when the ancestors inherit them, they are not the ones that are only getting the benefits from that. Humanity as a whole have the right to get the actual benefits from what humanity has created, and they claim that just because there are borders, they have an infinite right to that, which they never prove, so they can never actually take away the benefits that the tourism should be getting. But what benefits does tourism give you? Happiness, leisure, traveling, and getting away from your life, and getting to see very beautiful cultural things. So therefore, because we benefit both tourism and tourist destinations, opposition.